Tube amplifiers are a really fun hobby, but sometimes it gets expensive. Here's a video where I show you where I found a lot of parts for a future project on this channel. I'm not saying anything else, but you're gonna like it. Let's check this out. Hi everyone, and enjoy this video. It's probably the last time you're gonna see me with this weird hairstyle because the hair salons are open again. So you probably noticed that I really enjoy tube amplifiers and film photography, but also tube amplifiers. I also made one, and this is a footage of it. And sometimes this hobby can cost you a lot of money because you see, spares, they're not free, and you have to order them online, pay for the shipping charges. So it's sometimes pretty difficult. I'm gonna show you right now how to find spare parts for tube amplifier projects. And there it is. This is a Grammont French brand record player. Yeah, I'm gonna take this apart totally. I'm gonna use the tube amplification here. There, behind this grid, there are a few tubes. I'm not gonna try to salvage the record player. It's totally, look at that. I'm not gonna salvage this. You see, it's in a very rough shape. There are missing parts here and there. I would have to pay a lot to have this restored. Some of you might be thinking it's a shame that I'm going to disassemble this record player and not restore it. Well, you see, here in Europe we have one brand of vintage turntables that are valuable. It's the brand Tepaz, and since it's kind of sought after, people are asking around 80 bucks or 100 bucks for a Tepaz in original condition. And it's kind of easy to restore them because you can order replacement parts like the idler tire or a new cartridge and a stylus. So you pay, let's say, 100 bucks for a Tepaz, you spend 100 bucks in spare parts to restore it, and you can sell it for a profit of 5 bucks because people won't pay that much for a restored Tepaz. That thing over there, if I decided to restore it right now, it would cost me, well, let's say 100 bucks in spare parts to get it running, and I would sell it for maybe 80 bucks. So it's not worth it, it's not sought after, and it has too much damage to be salvaged, so I'm gonna use it for parts. So it uses two 6BQ5 tubes, and that means I'm gonna have two output transformers, and since the speakers I got two of them, I already disassembled one right here. So this is the grill cloth. It's glued, but the glue is kind of old, so it's easy to peel it off. I'm gonna use this. On the other side we had these speakers, and here it is. It's a very nice speaker, excellent condition. It's 4 ohms, and I have 2 of them. And it also came with this funny little guy here. It's what they call an inverted speaker, with the magnet is inside the cone. It was pretty easy to make really low profile speakers back then, and they could be stuck almost everywhere. So this one is a keeper. These are really nice brass screws with all the bushings here, so that's gonna be used somewhere in a future project. And these speakers are 4 ohms, so they're gonna be useful for other projects. So let's crack this open and see what's inside. Okay, just look at the condition of the cable. It's brittle, it's truly peeling off. And this is a terminal strip, and guess what, I love these when I create my own amplifiers myself because they are pretty useful. So that piece is gonna come off, and there's another one here, pretty nice. Guys, I really like what I see. These are the output transformers, one for each channel. I hope they're still in good condition. 7,000 ohms. That is really something interesting. I'm gonna find a use for them. Look at the date, 23 September of 1959. That is some vintage equipment, my friends. So here's a gut shot. The red cylinders you see here are the filter capacitors, the tubes, EZ80 for rectifier, 6BQ5 on the back, and what I think is EF86 as preamp tubes. And look at this thing from these French guys. It looks like an extra input. It's a DIN input, but on the other side there's absolutely nothing. So probably it wasn't an optional, more expensive model. They had a recorder input capability, but they just hid it under this cover for this model. This is the power transformer, and it's big and chunky. Kind of like it. And well, we're gonna look at the circuitry. So I made sure that there was no electricity stored in the filter caps. These capacitors here, these are glass tubes with tar at each end, and well, they usually go bad. These are 6F these are electrolytic. They also go bad. But have a look at this one. It's a terminal strip. Yeah, and another one. I'm gonna reuse these. There's also a terminal strip in here and one in here. That's a lot of things to recover. The tube sockets are pretty good. I mean, look at that. Just remove everything and can get myself some brand new tube sockets. And what I really like about this power transformer is here you have S for, in French, sector, which is the main, so 115, 230. CHL, which means chauffage lampe, the heater for the tubes on the amp. Here we have CHV, chauffage high voltage. This is the heater for the rectifier, which is 6 volt too, and here we have HV. And I looked at the schematic. It's 260 260 volts power transformer, which is useful for many other projects. And that's a good sight. I really like to see this. This is some kind of a fabric, and the power tubes are just right here. So if it was a high hour set, it means used a lot, it would have it would be marked by the heat, but it looks in a pristine condition. So I guess these tubes are very low hours and the rest of the amp. Now I installed my multimeter here, so you will see. If you want to know if an output transformer is dead, you just simply take a DC measurement across the primary. If it's open, if it's infinite resistance, well, this primary winding is dead, so let's have a look. We have 333 ohms, which is fine. And obviously the secondary is going to be almost a short circuit, yeah, because the wire is thicker. This guy is good. Now I'm gonna check the other one just to see if it's good or bad, if I salvaged one or two output transformers. Okay, so let's do it again with the multimeter. On the primary winding we get identical, and on the secondary we get continuity. Which means that these two output transformers, which are totally usable 4 ohms 7K primary, 4 ohms secondary is well, now let's have a look at this power transformer. It's big, it's huge, it's probably more powerful enough to create a project using a 10-watt push-pull guitar amplifier. So it's multi voltage here. So this was a fuse. This it used to be a fuse, a paper fuse. I'm not sure I'll be able to find one of these now, but anyways, we can just use a normal conductor here, not a fuse, and use a fuse somewhere else, so it's not going to be an issue. On the other side we have all the connections we talked about earlier, so I'm gonna cut all the wires and take the transformer out. These tube sockets here are in a perfect condition. That's the proof the amplifier and the turntable is not a high hour set. I'm gonna totally reuse them by drilling a hole here to pop the rivets out, and they will fall off. These are the filter caps. These ones are not gonna be usable, they're too old, they're probably dry. And this big resistor here, well, maybe I'm gonna recover it, I don't know, I have to check it out. These are the terminal strips I was talking about earlier. I'm gonna drill a hole here to pop the rivet and unsolder them here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, only 4. Well, that's good enough. These glass with capacitors with star inside are definitely bad, so I'm not gonna keep them. I'm gonna cut all the wires on the sockets to reuse them. These mustard caps are 22 nanofarads, and they're usually good, but I wouldn't lose my time using them in a tube amplifier. I usually keep them for guitar tone caps. They are the right value, and well, they're very good caps, called mustard for those who don't know. And yeah, that's basically it. Maybe a few resistors are gonna be salvaged, but well, once again, these are carbon comp, and maybe they have drifted over time, so better be safe than sorry. And after all, the price of a resistor is not that high anyway, so it's not a big loss. What I end up with is a pair of output transformers that are going to be useful for future projects, especially guitar amplifiers, a pair of speakers that are in pristine conditions, a set of tubes, a power transformer that is big enough to power a small, like 10 watts tube guitar amplifier, and the tube sockets and all the terminals, etc. So is that a good deal? I paid 50 bucks for the whole assembly. I'm gonna use many other things like the screws or even the piping, and yeah, a lot of things are gonna be reused on that. So I think it's not a bad idea to use some parts from miscellaneous items for your prototypes. Anyway, that's all I got for you today. As always, thank you for watching, and be seeing you. Wait a second, guys. Well, the project I have with you is to create a tube amplifier from scrapped parts from here and there. But I know some of you guys don't have access to all these components, so I'm gonna give you the references to all the parts you need to build it yourself. And I hope you're gonna have as much fun as I will have building this amp with you guys. So stay tuned. This is gonna be a long series of videos, and they're gonna come progressively. I'm gonna take my time. So anyways, thank you again for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Goodbye.